Well, for more on Syria, let's go now to Ahmed Al-Barai. He's in Hatay near the Turkey-Syria border. Ahmed, Trump and Putin say there's no military solution in Syria. How do you see this playing out in relation to what's happening on the ground?
Well, the American President Donald Trump, while leaving the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit that was happening in Vietnam, told the reporters over there that he himself and Putin agreed very quickly over Syria. They agreed that there is no military solution and there must be a de-escalation in Syria. This is going to be enforced in the coming few days. And they also agreed that the deconfliction channels between all the forces that is fighting Daesh on the ground should be kept. And on the other hand, they agreed that the ultimate goal of the coalition, as well as the Syrian regime and the Russians and the Iranians on the ground, is to defeat Daesh. But the problem is still in Idlib province, like on the border with Turkey, there is a province where the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham that is mainly controlling the whole region in Idlib. And there is a kind of mounting tension between all rebel groups that the Turkey was forced to get into Idlib recently in order to stabilize the whole region and try to force the de-escalation zone. Whether this is going to hold, it depends on the conflict that is going on between these factions. Recently, there is a matter of conflict between Nuruddin Zinki, one of the faction groups, very strong opposition group, and Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. We need to wait and see how they're going to force this in this particular area in Syria.
How do you think that the people who you're meeting there, I mean, I imagine a fair amount of refugees fleeing come across that border. How are the people responding to this renewed effort, this renewed commitment from the US and Russia to try and find an end to this crisis?
Well, the people, as a matter of fact, are deeply concerned because what they're concerned about is the day after. It seems that Daesh is in decline. The Syrian Democratic Forces, backed by the United States Air Force, from the one hand, the Syrian regime, backed by the Russian Air Force, is pushing Daesh out. Now, what is going to happen after Daesh is defeated? That's the elephant in the room for many people here. We're talking to people who fled Raqqa, the de facto capital city of Daesh in Syria. We've talked to people who fled Deir ez-Zor as well. The problem is, on the ground, there seems to be no clear strategy. They cleanse the whole area from Daesh elements. Of course, there's a kind of, they're taking back some parts of El Boukamal, the last stronghold, where their leaders are still there. But still, it seems that ultimately Daesh is going to be defeated. For the people on the ground, who is going to start the construction of those cities, who's going to start bringing them electricity, water, basic needs they do need? It seems that a clear strategy for the construction of the territories that used to be held by Daesh is not an option for those who controlled it. Now, the United States said they are going to supply the SDF with whatever necessary to bring life back again to these regions. The Russians are very cooperative with the Americans, according to Donald Trump statements. But still, the people are concerned whether these promises are going to be fulfilled, or still they're going to wait for many other months, maybe in the coming winter in difficult conditions, before real humanitarian stuff got their way into these cities.
Thanks so much for that. That is TRT World Editor-at-Large, Ahmed Al-Barai.